Why? Hello. I don't know why I just said why twice. Why? I was going to say well.
Hear
ye. Anyway, my name's Maryl. This is a Bold Women podcast. I'm here with my friend Maria.
Yeller.
And it is a season catch-up episode.
Season catch-up episode.
I say catch-up. She says catch-up.
Which is it?
Well, we're catching up. We're not catch-up.
But we're catching up. Like we're catching up on things.
Yeah.
Did you say roof or roof?
Roof. There's two O's. You got to elongate it.
It's a roof. How's their roof?
Makes a long O sound if it's two O's
roof
next to each other.
Do you say bag or bag?
How are you spelling it?
Like a bag. Like you're going to go shopping in a bag.
Yeah, Maria's from the northern part of Iowa, which might as well be from southern Minnesota. Well, sorry, her family.
Thank you. We're from the
northern
same area.
Yeah, you and I went to the same school, but you talk like somebody who's basically from Minnesota or Wisconsin.
That's true. But if you get my mom's family together, northern accents.
But the bag, she means bag. Like something you carry, not that you're begging someone for anything.
You know what else goes in a bag?
What?
Our social media accounts. You guys should all follow it.
Oh, snap. There she is with a little zinger.
Boom! Got him. Check out our social media. Instagram.
Yeah.
Listen to us on Spodcasts. Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Off to a great start.
We're doing so good. It has been a day.
Yeah, well, it's
been
a year.
It's been a year.
This is the last episode of the season.
Man.
What a year it's been.
We're
typically off the month of December, which is the pattern we are going to continue following.
Yeah.
And we will pick back up in January. So.
Yeah. I feel like
everyone needs a little bit of rest here and there.
100%. And I think like one of our favorite things about season catch up is like we're just talking about life.
We're just chilling. Talking about things.
And you guys caught up on what's going on in our lives.
Not heavy-revy things.
No.
Well, they could be.
You
never know. We always delve into that at some point.
At some point, in some way, it twists into something.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
We could sit. You know what I would love more than anything?
Tell me.
To do what we were doing at the very beginning of this episode and discussing how to pronounce words.
Oh.
That would be a dream come true for me. But I will not bore you all with that.
How do you feel about when people, if I can say this, and I notice it on TV a lot, and
First Amendment is still intact at this point.
Okay. When they talk and I don't know if you would call it a speech impediment. I'm trying not.
Oh dear, here we go.
But it's when people talk and their S's are incredibly strong.
That was on my list.
Yeah. And I can't tell what it is.
Get it out of your head.
But it's like a specific sound, and it's on S's, and it's like they are just.
It's very sharp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying yeah.
It sickens me.
What is that?
So much. I hate it so much.
And it's so long. I can't even do it the way you're doing it.
It's like a whistle almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just stop it. Just stop it. No one talks like that.
No one talks with a whistle. But what do you think starts that?
I don't know. Someone trying to sound cool?
I don't know.
Someone trying to
if you
sound
have strong
smarter,
S's in your, can you?
But you don't sound smarter, and honestly, they're probably not aware of it. Or if they are, they're gonna pretend like they're not. It goes with a person type, like a personality type. I swear.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's okay. Well, that was my
kind of like cars go with personalities.
It could be the way their mouth is shaped.
That's true.
And the way they speak.
Don't start defending them now, Byron.
But I know what you're talking about. It's real heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
Or the schnoz.
The schnoz.
Or like the way a nose is shaped because of the air.
Yeah, with your airflow.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that impacts how people sing. So.
That's true. Maybe that's
whatever.
Why
okay, Byron coming in with a logical explanation.
Maybe that's why I can't sing.
Why?
Has to do with my nose.
Because what?
Maybe that's why I can't sing, because that's to do with my nose.
I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with my nose, but maybe God just said, let's shape it different. So she's...
It would have to do with what's going on inside.
Oh, my
But
sinuses?
the parts you can't even see.
Do you want to hear a crazy sinus story?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. So
This is season catch up.
I used to work in a cosmetic dentistry office. Loved it. One of my favorite jobs.
What? Doing what?
Cosmetic dentistry procedures?
No, what were you doing? You were obviously not conducting these procedures.
No, I was doing charting. I was doing insurance stuff, front desk stuff.
Okay, what's funny is her mom worked at a dental office
Doing the same thing.
doing the same thing. But it was a family practice.
Yeah. So this one, but like we would, like if someone, when they got done with surgery, he was very like, we took care of our patients. Like we would make homemade milkshakes like after
Okay.
surgery. Well, it was very nice. But anyways,
Brag
we
a little.
had this man come in who he could not hear. I forget how many years it was. And he used to play saxophone or trumpet, one of the two. He used to play an instrument. Anyways,
a wind instrument.
of some sort.
Well, that would be the trumpet. But
I'm thinking trumpet is what I'm leaning towards from the story. Anyways,
the reed
played
instrument would be the sax.
the sax. So he couldn't hear out of his ear for years, and he came in to get an implant done, and he had like an infection like over time in his sinus. So our doctor cleaned it out, got him healed up, got the implant in. The infection was impacting his ear, and he could hear again after he got the infection out of his.
Maybe I
Bite his
need
tooth.
to. How do you find that out?
Huh? It was crazy. But yeah, he literally was like years he could not hear. And then it was like some infection up in his sinuses that were clogging his. Maybe that is.
That's what I'm saying. Little personal details. I've been struggling with hearing in one ear.
Huh?
And I went and that's actually
That's
literally
what you
me
have to
in
do.
real life right now.
Yeah.
But I went and saw an ENT, and they were basically like, eardrum looks good. They did some auditory tests, and then it was like, nerve appears to be intact and functioning properly, because I guess one of the tests that they did, they were like, you wouldn't have been able to determine something they were doing or whatever, and if it wasn't intact. And they're like, ear canal doesn't appear to be blocked or anything like that. Had a CT scan done,
weird.
and my inner ear looks fine. So
maybe.
as of this recording, which is probably going to be a little bit before, I don't know. I'll probably have answers or something by the time this comes out. But anyway.
Yeah, no,
They were basically just like, oh, it could be this like XYZ condition, but it had like a genetic component to it. And no one in my family has ever had issues with hearing.
weird.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know that I believe that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, there's no way to test it, like blood tests or anything like that. And I'm like, well,
Okay,
if you can't see it on a scan, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I
wonder if you would take, and I am not medically trained at all, nor am I dental trained at all, but they have a thing that's called a Lanap laser. I wonder if you were to take that and have treatment on the outside and around your ear, if it would heal.
a Lanap.
LANAP.
Well, I do have a dental appointment coming up, so this is timely.
I would be curious because when we would use that, people would heal from their like bone grafts, anything like that, so much faster. And it's basically a laser that triggers healing in people. It's very, very
Googling
interesting. Yeah. But I think he found it when they removed the tooth that was there. And then so that cavity was then open, and then he was able to get the infection out.
It removes diseased gum tissue without cutting or stitching.
Uh-huh. But you can use it to actually like stimulate new growth.
It achieves while leaving healthy tissue intact. I don't know. It's
Be something
interesting.
to look at.
It's interesting because I've always had like healthy gums and stuff too. So I don't know. But I have had, one of my sisters was like, are you sure it's not allergy related? Because
Ooh.
I have in the past had listened to it. We're just going to diagnose me while we're sitting here.
I have another thought that was coming to mind when you were talking.
But I have had one. I had 1 year where I get really bad. I have really bad seasonal allergies, particularly in the fall. And there was 1 year where, just out of nowhere, I got vertigo really bad while I was at work, and I could not even walk very well. I had to just like guide myself along the wall. But my coworker ended up taking me to urgent care, and they found out, they were like, oh, it's just a bunch of fluid built up in your inner ear. But I don't know. I'm like, what? Maybe if an ENT doesn't see that, I don't know if they would see it. I don't know if it's somewhere where they can't see it.
Right.
Anyway.
That's what makes me go to the laser. If they would do it on the outside part of your skin and by your ear, because it can be used for other things besides just gum treatment.
I'm going to
Just
talk to them. Maybe we'll see.
Ask them about that.
And maybe I'll update you guys on the next season, catch up, and
On
let
how
you
the
know.
ear's doing.
Yeah.
You want to know my other thought about your ear?
What?
When
It
you
was my left ear, too, that I had the fluid buildup.
Huh.
That
Well,
one.
my other thought was, do you remember, I don't know if it was maybe a couple years ago, but when you were taking that probiotic, because you were taking the antibiotic for so long?
Yes.
I wonder have you noticed it since then?
What?
The hearing loss?
Since I started taking it or stopping?
Since you stopped taking the antibiotic.
The antibiotic?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying maybe the antibiotic did something?
Was keeping it at bay.
Maybe.
If it's like something extra and like internal that they just can't pick up on something.
Maybe. Who's to say?
Just trying to figure out.
Yeah, I was taking antibiotics because I had like some skin thing happening on my face. You guys want to know what happens outside of recording? That's
Oh, speaking of skin stuff, that's weird. I'll throw myself under the bus. So
Okay.
it's not just you.
what?
So especially in the summer, I get like on my skin.
It ended up being perioral dermatitis, which is a bacterial infection on your face. Okay, that's what it is. I don't need listeners being like, what was it? But it turns out I was treating something with steroids, which only actually made the problem worse. And so then I had to go on antibiotics for like a month to fix it. So,
That's not
anywho,
fun.
continue.
No.
Your skin thing.
So my skin thing, I have, and it's been ever since I was a little girl, and it doesn't, this is going to sound gross. It looks like ringworm, but it's not ringworm. It's like, it's similar in shape, not function.
It's not raised, not itchy.
Raised, not itchy. It's just literally like my skin changes
Just
colors.
there.
Yeah, it's just there. And
Where's it at?
it's like by my belly button and kind of like underwear I wear bra, like a sports bra typically. So like sweaty places.
I think you've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Well, just
so
you, maybe.
my doctor said that it is a fungus that every human has on their skin because it's in our air, and some immune systems fight it and some don't, which I have had autoimmune issues. So that's besides the point. But
it's not beside the
it's
point,
not it actually adds to it. But yeah, so they're just like, it is literally on every single human skin. Because it's like something that floats, but your immune system doesn't fight it. So every summer I have to get antifungal cream, which makes me look super cool. And I have to rub it on my body to keep this stupid little thing away.
Okay, for my
So.
fellow germaphobes out there, how grossed out are you about thinking about the microbes and tiny fungi that you can't even see? They're just
Chilling.
floating about,
Sitting on your skin.
hanging out on your skin.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel like I'm not going to sleep well
Are you
tonight.
going to go home and shower?
Probably.
100%.
And I'm going to just tell myself that fixed it.
Yeah. I will say this. I am a huge proponent for taking a hot shower before you go to bed.
Proponent? I want to try that again.
What's the right word?
Proponent.
Proponent.
Do you want to know what you...
I said proponent.
It sounded right.
Well, okay, it
A
is.
huge proponent.
It is. A person who advocates a theory, proposal, or project.
Wow.
That doesn't sound right.
Really?
Yeah.
What word
But
were
I
you
guess
thinking
it's
of?
right. I guess I was just thinking of the word of advocate, but it's essentially the same thing.
Similar, very similar.
Whatever. Going
I'm
on.
a huge
moving on.
advocate for crawling into bed with clean skin.
Well, I believe in taking a hot shower because your body acts to cool down and it tends to like calm you and make you sleepy.
Exactly. And then like just think about it. When you crawl in your sheets, you're not all day grimy when you climb in those things.
I mean, sure.
Anyways, that's big fan. I'm a big fan, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well,
of that.
There's that.
But okay, so in lieu of season catch up, any good documentaries you've been watching?
In lieu of,
Oh, I guess in honor of.
or just speaking of season.
Speaking
catch-up.
of season, in lieu of. Sorry, I'm in work mode. Did you know?
In lieu of means you're trying to replace something.
I know.
Do you?
I do, because
Okay.
I just said I'm in work mode. I help work some in lieu of services through the state of
Speaking
Kansas.
of,
Speaking of.
Hear ye. Are there any new documentaries that you've been watching?
This won't be new by the time this episode airs.
But
However, at the time of this recording, I had just watched a documentary on Peacock called Anatomy of Lies.
ooh,
Mhm.
what's that about?
About Elizabeth Finch, who basically went around.
What'd she do?
She wrote on Grey's Anatomy. And
Stop.
she basically lied about having cancer, having a bunch of like going through what was it? She was accusing somebody of sexual harassment. She threw out stuff about her brother abusing her that wasn't true. She lied about her brother actually dying when he was alive.
Stop it.
She claimed to be at the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh, and she wasn't there. And she went to a mental health facility and struck up a relationship with a woman that was there, and basically used aspects of this woman's life to write episodes on Grey's Anatomy. Oh yeah.
What?
Yep.
I kind of want to watch this now.
Yeah.
That's insane. Crazy, I guess I should say.
Yeah, it's only like her colleagues said that they would get finched, and that was basically like if somebody was talking about how they were going through a hard time with something, like she would automatically have something more traumatizing to discuss that she was
Wow.
dealing with. Yeah.
And she wrote for them?
Yep.
How long did she write for it? The whole season? The whole...
She wrote for a good number of seasons. I can't recall.
Wow.
But yeah, there's only 3 episodes of it. It was just mind-boggling. I felt terrible for her former partner Jennifer Bayer. Just wild.
Yeah.
And she confronted her about it too, and was like, "What the heck?"
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild.
I kind of want to watch that now.
It's good.
The
It's good. People do weird stuff
People do
for
weird stuff.
attention and validation, and
there was one that I saw that I was like, oh, I had kind of heard of it, but I didn't like deep dive into it.
did you watch it?
I did end up watching the documentary, but I'm saying before I got to, I was like, oh, I had heard of this thing.
Oh, before
but
you came across the documentary.
before I came across a documentary, and then I came across a documentary, and it was the Escaping Twin Flames.
Which one? Who does that? Because there's like,
This one was Netflix, I believe.
oh, okay, yeah. And I only say that because there's one on
Netflix.
Amazon. There's one on Netflix. There's another.
Yeah, this was the one. The one that I watched was on Netflix.
Okay, that one.
And I did not realize how like deep that thing went. Like at first I thought, I was like, oh, it's just this thing that people are doing that's makes zero sense.
Mhm.
But then I got into that and I was like, oh, these people are like leaving their families and never speaking to them again and trying to find the love of their life. And
What's also wild was like this couple was like telling people like your twin flame is a woman, and if it would, they'd be talking to a woman, and she's like, what? And they would tell like the producers of the documentary like, I've never been attracted to the opposite sex, but they said that was my twin flame. So like, and they found themselves in a relationship with a same sex partner or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was
it's
like,
just
what?
well. And then there was one I was watching, and it was they kept telling like, and like just the emotional abuse that was happening too, where this lady they kept telling her like, well, you need to go. How bad do you want it to happen? And like ended up getting a restraining order put on her, and they're like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, that's yours. And so they're like trying to get her to break the restraining order to go after
people
this.
were committing crimes
To try to get
their
these people are like, I don't want you, and they're like, well, that's your love. And it's nuts.
It was, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
All, of course, with the
Hopes that
with
I
the
know we're
hopes that they
reading
were getting,
lines of
like,
it, and it's like,
self-help stuff.
yeah,
And then all of a sudden it turned into like relationship advice and like all this weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was
one that I saw that I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. Byron was on a previous page, and there was the one, scroll down. Maybe it's down there. Oh, nope. On the other page.
No.
Nope. On the one you were just on. Scroll down.
Keep scrolling.
Because there was other documentaries that were listed that were like similar or something. But anyway, it was the lady that called herself Mother God, and she like drank a bunch of mercury and her skin turned blue and she died. She was like drinking, and she like drank herself to death.
Okay.
Because she was basically drinking alcohol and mercury. She turned like blue. And then they're like, she's going to come back to life. And then, she didn't.
She gone. I think that was one of the things.
And I only laugh because that was an uncomfortable laugh. That was not me thinking the situation was funny. Sometimes I feel like I just got to clarify this. Sometimes
like, that's what this is.
Awkwardly laugh.
Well, I think there's this interesting piece, as we always said, we would always get into like this deep delve, right? Of so many of these cults.
Oh, the bad surgeon.
And then
it's just called Bad Surgeon, not the Bad Surgeon. But that one was wild too.
What's the Kansas one too, where it's the doctor and he basically like artificially inseminated hundreds of children that were his own?
There's a couple of those out there, actually.
And he's from Kansas. And
that was one guy.
That was one of them.
There was another guy that was like in Maryland or something, and he was like, what was that one called? Something, he fathered like 1,000 children or something.
This one guy I remember hearing.
It was called like Sins of Our Father or something. Which is different from one of the LDS documentaries that's out there that's got a similar name.
But the one I'm talking about, from wherever I heard it from, I want to make sure that I tell it right. But they said that his daughter came to him for fertility, but he was man enough, he didn't do it to her. So look at his character. Thank you for not doing it. Artificially inseminating your own daughter's egg.
That is freaking gross.
Isn't that sick?
Have you seen Bad Surgeon?
No, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, so Bad Surgeon was about this guy basically saying we can 3D print a piece of your windpipe, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he was actually, he was a doctor, and he was on staff at what's the name of the hospital? It's a really famous, like, well-known hospital over in the Netherlands somewhere.
Really?
Norway, Netherlands.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the hospital.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, Yeah, people died, but he like falsified a bunch of information about the research and stuff and like convinced people to come across the ocean for this procedure for this prosthetic piece for their throat. And then people ended up freaking dying because their bodies rejected it and they had like massive infections. And then he also like convinced a few women
lab grown organs.
Yeah. In theory, it would have worked.
In theory, sounds
but
great.
all of the studies and everything that was like all the testing that he basically hid was not.
Oh my gosh,
it didn't work. Yeah,
Sheesh.
so that's a crazy one too.
Ugh. The
I watch a lot. I love documentaries. I love just.
Me too.
Did you see the 7M TikTok dancers?
What
You
was
did?
that one?
Yeah,
Oh my
Dancing for the
gosh.
Devil.
I remember seeing it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
That church is still there, Shekinah.
yeah, and they're all gone, or they're all like still avoiding their family, but they're weirdly still on like social media and stuff, like pretending
trying to
like
act
everything's
normal.
fine.
What was it?
You know on Instagram and TikTok, Aubrey Fisher, the guy that dances really well, and he's always dancing with like a few of his friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all part of that cult.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Where have you been, Maria?
Wow.
Yeah.
Management
Put
company.
that one in your
associated with
playlist.
Put that one on your list there. Yeah.
Man.
And it's partly is like the girl that's in there that ended up marrying one of the guys. What's his name? B something. One of his friends. That Slavic guy was also in the group. The dancer. The guy's name was like B something. Anyway, she married this guy, but like her family is like talking to producers and stuff about how she just got wrapped up in this. And they're like, yeah, we don't get to see her. And like they've tried to like make contact with her.
And they won't.
Nope. No access.
Okay, speaking of no contact, and I know we're kind of on cults right now. Okay, so I was watching Lee Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath. This was, a couple of years ago, one of my favorite documentaries to watch. Anyways, but she was talking about David Miscavige's wife, and how like no one has seen her for years. And anybody who gets questioned about like where she is punished basically. And she was saying that they were at a wedding, which I was expecting her to be at. And she was like, oh, where's, I forget her name. Cheryl? I'm looking at Byron because I know we were looking at, but. And then after that, she just got reprimanded. She's like, for just asking casually, hey, where's your wife? Thought she would be at this wedding. Is it Shelley Miscavige?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, and basically, Shelley, yeah. But yeah, no one has seen her in years. Which is kind of crazy to me. But that is
B dash.
She might be in the hole.
Sorry.
You think she's in the hole?
Could be.
For the 7
I mean,
million.
everybody else was.
For the Dancing for the Devil, B dash.
B
Yeah,
dash.
B dash.
His
that's
wife's name was Miranda Derrick.
Oh.
Miranda and James Derrick.
right. Yeah, and the sister was Melanie.
Yes.
Man. Okay, status missing for, so this is back to Shelley Miscavige. This stat says missing for 17 years, 2 months, and 28 days.
What? She is whose spouse?
David Miscavige, he's the head over
The
Scientology
leader.
right now.
Okay, so she gone.
She gone. Just
Okay.
crazy.
Okay.
That's I would like to touch base, and I don't know if we can Google on Facebook Marketplace to round out the year if Cooter and Frisbee have been sold. That's what
We're doing it now, Byron. Get on Facebook and take a look. You're
Before-
right. We
as
needed
we-
to get some answers
get
here.
some answers, and I would like to know before 2024 wraps up. Did they? Maybe not. I don't know if you want to just Google that. Yeah. We got some Frisbees popping up.
Cooter and
Oh man,
Frisbee.
if they got sold,
Wherefore out thou?
I feel like I don't want to see
Cooter
how
and
many.
frisbee. Or maybe someone took it down.
Maybe they heard the podcast and took it down.
Maybe.
Stuffed dog heads, maybe.
Would it have the keywords that was like?
Do you still have your text
I think so.
that we could look for the keywords on it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, all you listeners, that you have been on the edge of your seats waiting to hear what has happened to these
What's that
two.
called when they do the animals and they're frozen in
Taxidermy?
time? Thank you.
Welcome. Because right now we have like literally stuffed dogs.
Sorry.
The amount of like when you do these searches and the amount of things
It
that
says
pop
selling my stuffed dogs, frisbee and cooter.
up.
Is that the
It's the title of it.
Okay, wait for
It's
it.
FRIZBEE.
Oh, that could be why.
Frizz and then BEE.
Wait, drum roll, please.
Where are they?
They aren't popping up. They were very distinct images.
Yeah.
Guys, did they sell?
Oh, but you've got Lenexa, so you tried Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh,
Try Des Moines, Iowa, because you're not going to get it here. Like for the location. Yeah, see? Yeah, change that to
Oh, yeah.
Des Moines. There.
Oh.
Well, 500. Okay. Frisbee and cooter. Hang tight.
hang tight.
I know you guys are on the edge of
everybody
your
is.
seats.
I am waiting.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
They're nowhere,
to be found. If someone bought these dogs,
Maybe they took it down.
maybe. Did she ever message you back? Didn't she message, hey, are they still available?
Yeah, check your messages.
Or maybe they did take them down.
Oh gosh.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
Unsettling.
The number of taxidermy dogs that are popping up right now.
What is wrong with
With
people?
Spider pup.
$6,000 buckskin colt in Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh, look at Free. This is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
The GBs are Hebian.
They are heebing hard. Look at that frog with the guitar.
Oh my
it's like a whole
gosh.
bar scene. There's 3 frogs.
And they're taxidermy toads. Or
also
they're bullfrogs.
from Garber, Iowa.
What the
you
heck?
know, so Meryl and I
Is
are
there a
from
description?
Iowa.
Is there a description?
What does it say?
They're sitting at like a mini bar of like drinking Coronas.
Can you ask them if
and-
this is still available?
What's going on, Dennis?
Come on,
What
Dennis.
are we doing here?
Why on earth would you do that?
It's under beer frog.
Beer frogs.
Beer frogs. That is bizarre. Okay.
If he responds back right now, yes, I'm going to lose $100. $100 for those 3 frogs.
Byron, did you check your DMs about that frisbee and cooter? Please let it be there still.
Please be there. Please be there. Please be there.
'Cause I think I remember it was Jean.
No.
It's coming up a year ago.
It's gone.
Oh, do you think
Yeah, here's 50 weeks. Somebody talking about a
maybe they did make her take it
27 weeks.
Jean Wirtz. Well, Jean,
down? Jean,
Well,
wish you the best. Hope you.
maybe call into the show. We got to find out what happened
Yeah.
to Frisbee and
To
Cooter. And by golly, Dennis, tell us what in tarnation is going through your head to make taxidermy beer frogs. What in the world?
And they're drinking Corona.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
they got
take a picture
class.
of this in case somebody listens to this episode and
And
slides
they
into the
wanna-
DMs and they want to know because I've done that before.
Yeah. There you go.
Found
That
it.
is outrageous. So I know both of these options that we have been talking about have been
So
from
disturbing.
Iowa. However, Maryl and I are from Iowa,
Yeah.
and we would not do that.
No.
So
I moved
don't-
away for a reason.
Don't judge Iowa based off of Frisbee Cooter and beer frogs.
I moved
That's
away
all
from
I
Iowa
have
to
to
get
ask.
to get away from the frisbee,
Frisbee
and
Cooters
cooter,
and beer
beer frog
frogs.
type of people.
Um,
My gosh.
yeah, that's crazy. Any thoughts, Meryl, just real quick before we wrap up on this? Any thoughts going into 2025 or anything you would like to share with the listeners? Any words of encouragement as you reflect over your year? Okay, I'm going to reframe my question.
Okay.
If you could pick the biggest lesson that you learned in 2024.
Biggest lesson that I learned.
What
I
would
think
that
the
be?
biggest. Okay, I actually prayed about this morning because I am finding that the Lord has been moving very quickly in my life, but not in a way that is scary or stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of he's redeeming and restoring a lot of things that had fallen apart or were taken away in before I started following him again. And I was praying about it this morning, and I was just like, Lord, I am just so I'm just shocked that this is all like happening.
Mhm.
It feels like all at once. And I feel like the amount of peace that I have about everything is almost like a red flag or something. Like, am I missing something kind of thing? And then I thought to myself, I knew that he was going to restore things. I
Mhm.
knew, like, I repeated Deuteronomy 31:8 to
Mhm.
myself again, saying, I know that you are not somebody who leaves me. You won't leave me. You haven't left me. You're not going to. You promise over and over and over in your word that you will make things right again for your people and things like that. And I was like, I'm just Lord, I'm just kind of shocked that it's all happening.
Mhm.
And then like right after I said that, I was like, wow. So there must have just been some doubt that he was actually going to come through. And so then at that point I was like, but also forgive me because I shouldn't be shocked that this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't be shocked because
That's what he does.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
I guess that's that. What about you?
I have
Got a few
two.
minutes left.
I have two that I can think of. Also, before we get into that, I would like you to look at the screen.
Holy moly, Frisbee and Cooter need a home.
Plano, Texas.
Someone said, what boomer nonsense is this? Oh, someone posted about it on Reddit. Someone else found it.
Oh my gosh. All this one person said, all jokes aside, $100 is a steal for that level of taxidermy.
Someone responded, I was genuinely surprised it took this long for someone to comment that.
Oh my god.
It's $100, Plano, Texas. They must have updated the city, or at least like
Something,
photoshopped
yeah.
over it, because that was definitely Des Moines,
Iowa.
Or maybe they moved.
I feel like,
and
should you take a picture of this?
maybe they moved and maybe
But
Gene.
that is definitely Frisbee and
It's
Cooter. though.
Frisbee
That
and
is
Cooter.
Frisbee and Cooter, all right.
There they are.
Yeah, do you want to take a picture
I
of that?
forgot
just
about the
in case?
caption that she put in there. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Love
again.
my dogs, but
But-
they're scaring my grandchildren.
Selling to a loving home will not give them to my no good liberal grandchildren. $100, Plano, Texas.
Plano, Texas.
What in the world?
Was Des Moines, Iowa.
They must have moved.
They had to have moved.
And they're like, well, we'll try it here. Maybe this is a different market.
We found them. Good work, Byron.
Well, Frisbee and Cooter relocated.
They have been found.
They're still for sale.
I would say two things that I would say I'm learning, and I feel like I'm starting to come to grip with them now.
Come to terms.
Come to terms. One is learning to let go of control. That like genuinely letting go of control means I don't pick it back up again. Like when I trust God with something, I don't have to go check on its status, and I don't have to keep going back. And that doesn't mean that I have a lack of faith or I'm not being diligent with my prayers or my or how I walk it out if I don't go back and check in on it. like he heard me the first time.
Yeah.
And the second part is that I've been learning is adjusting the way that I think to be away from the fearful side of, oh no, what if I mess up? What if I fill in the blank? What if what I'm doing isn't what God has? And it's this place of fear, and flipping to like, okay, well, what if I'm exactly where God has me to be? And just like starting to readjust and reframe what I'm thinking to the positive, and then just being reminded of how scripture tells me like to think on things that are good and holy and pure, and not to think on literally like, don't think about what if this isn't right? What if this isn't this? And how fast that can spiral. So I think those are kind of the two overarching lessons that I'm coming to terms with this year. And then I'm just so constantly reminded that the goodness of God in my life is by his grace and his grace alone.
That's right.
And it comes from nothing that I do, or me getting things right doesn't merit more favor in my life.
Yeah.
So kind of in this weird, very uncomfortable, because I feel like most days I fight my head and my heart knowledge. And so I feel like I have a lot of, I'm not even saying like I'm peace. I have peace, but it's like getting that, when you think a certain way for so long, it's like very much a combative and doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And like, it's like a fight. So I feel like most days are a fight for me mentally right now, but I also know it's at the spot that's an awareness that God cannot do something with it, because I am like bringing it to the forefront.
Well, and if you're not fighting with it, then it's not changing.
Right.
So it's like you're like only refining it.
Yeah. So I would say
you're refining yourself and changing that. So
yeah, that would be if I had to wrap 2024 up into a bow, I would say that would be the overarching part of 2024 for me.
Well, I love that.
So
I just would like to point out that I think it was funny that in 2023, I heard an episode that I said, that I was like, this could be this is a time that I just feel like I don't want to say no to anything, that I'm just open to all experiences and whatever.
Yeah.
Not doing anything crazy, like going on a freaking like ayahuasca trip for 4 days or something. But I just meant like I am not going to be rigid with my routine kind of thing, because I tend to be like
I'm right there with you,
bed by 8 p.m. every night type of person. And it's just funny that I said that, and then it was like, oh yeah, this 2024 really changed really quick.
Yeah,
so
it did.
Anywho,
what a great year!
Great year.
Lots of lessons,
going
lots
out
of
with
highs,
a bang.
Lots of lows. Going out with a bang.
Yeah.
And we just thank you guys so much for listening to us and being our little bold women crew.
Yeah, we got stuff in store for 2025, and we're so excited to just share with you what we've got cooking.
Yeah.
All right.
We're like chefs in a kitchen.
Yeah. Enjoy your holiday, the remaining holidays that you may or may not celebrate or whatever.
And we'll see you guys next year.
I knew she was going to say it.
I had to.
We'll see it. We'll see you in a month or two.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.